All right, hi everyone. Let me pull up chat here. All right, so we have a bunch of things going on today. So there's a whole bunch of updates. I think what's going to happen is the order of things will be I'm going to feed and weigh the homies, and while they are while each one she's chirping and playing with a ping pong ball over here. So while each one is eating their bottle, I'll just kind of go over some things that happened today and give some updates. And then once the homies are all done eating, then we'll get to the two Stadies boys. We'll weigh them and give their meat shakes and meds. All right, so yeah, Dakota's like, I just wanted to call her Haley. I couldn't remember her name, which is why I paused earlier. I was like, she's playing, because I wanted to call her Haley. I don't know what is with me and these names. Yeah, Dakota's in the background doing something. All right, let's wake up these kittens first. They're taking a little bit to wake up. They're pretty sleepy in there. Hello, babies. Time to get up. I had to touch them to wake them up. There we go. All right, let's start with Brick. Brick is 9.7 ounces. They're not even 2 weeks yet, are they? How many days old are they today? .7 ounce gain. .12 days old. 9.7 ounces at 12 days old. Unbelievable. All right, so one of the big things of today is that the detectives' adoption bios went live. We are officially accepting adoption applications for all 5 kittens next door. We've received a lot of applications. They are very popular kittens. All right, Mud is next. Mud is 9.2 ounces. So this week, our adoption coordinator is making phone calls. What are you doing, bud? There you go. Making phone calls to landlords and vet hospitals. I expect that we'll have some approvals starting next week. It's going to take us quite a while to get through so many applications that we have for them, but lots of good ones. So these guys will definitely find, not these guys, the guys next door will definitely find great, awesome homes. They should be all set before their spay and neuter dates. So that's really exciting for them. I don't know if we're going to have announcements this week, adoption announcements this week or not. Like I said, it just depends how quickly the team can get through all these applications. We don't have a first come, first serve policy here. We try to match the kittens with the best home. Clay is 9.7 ounces. Wow. So as I said yesterday over on the detectives chat room, please be on your best behavior. We have lots of potential adopters who are stopping in. Be sure to answer questions about the kittens. Make sure that they don't go unanswered. We're going to have, lots of potential adopters see their bios, and we have a link to the cam, so they start dropping in and they ask questions about the adoption process and about the kittens, and it's good for them to get a good impression. Great games already so far. Now these guys just get plain 100% formula. No meat cheeks yet. All right, Timber. .6 ounces. All right, so we also had an emergency come up with Jacoby. Shannon noticed that he was visiting the litter box poop 2 times and didn't actually pee. He seemed to be straining to pee and nothing came out. So she took him to the ER. He's at the hospital where over in Philly that he was treated at before. And his bladder was normal. He wasn't blocked up from urine, but he was constipated again. Had pretty severe blockage, and so that was putting pressure on his bladder, which is why, he was feeling like he needed to pee, even though he didn't have any urine left. So he's been admitted overnight, and they're going to give him enemas. They're going to try to clear him out, which is exactly what they've done in the past. But because this has happened again while he's been on prescription food, prescription medicine, he's actually on 2 different oral meds that he gets with every meal. They want to perform a surgery where they actually remove part of his colon to try to prevent this blockage from happening. So the first thing they're going to do overnight is just to try to clear him out. But then, talking about a longer term solution is this potential surgery. So the hospitalization, just to clear him out overnight is probably going to be around $1,500, which is a lot of money. But that's not even, it's a drop in the hat compared to the surgery, which they're saying is $5,000 to $6,000. So I haven't made a decision yet about the surgery. I was in touch with another hospital over there that tends to be cheaper, and they don't perform this surgery. So I was hoping to have him transferred to another hospital that might be a lower cost, but the one that was recommended to us just doesn't do this surgery at all. So I don't feel like, as far as I could tell, the surgery is not an emergency surgery. It's something that we could plan for in the future. So I might, if we can get him unblocked while he's at the while he's at the ER and hospitalized right now, just at least get him cleared out. We should have some. Oh, I already potted you. I'm wondering why there's no pee coming up. I already potted you. So I might have some time to call around to some other. I can check Dell to see if they do it and what their prices would be. Dell is usually very reasonable with cost. So I should have some time to call around and maybe get some better prices for the surgery. So that's my hope. I hope that it's not going to cost us $5,000 to $6,000, because that is a lot of money, and we have so much that we're trying to raise money for right now, especially with the renovation that we're trying to raise money for, the nursery renovation. So that is just a lot to try to ask of people. So, so stay tuned for that. But of course, you know, we're not ignoring his problem. We're still gonna alleviate, in the short term, his poopy issues. So thank you to everyone, of course, who's donated so far towards his care. Right now we've raised enough. Well, we've raised the $1,500 that's estimated for his emergency care. Thank goodness. So we're good to pay his bill as long as it doesn't go above that. We're ready to pay for that when he's discharged. But do you want this or not? Okay, I guess not. But yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near raising $5,000 to $6,000 for further surgery. All right, so these guys ate awesome. They usually eat most of the bottle. We only ever have a little bit left. They're fantastic eaters, as evidenced by their wakings. Yeah, Julia, they practically empty this bottle every time. It's awesome. Oh, you have a frowny face. I don't know why you have a frowny face. Julia, it's a smiley face when they empty bottles. I think you are mistaken. Alright, so now I gotta go get the other babies. Who should we take first? Dell. Dell's up first. Alright, let's get his weight. Dell is 9.3 ounces. Move all this. Let's see how much he gained. Oh, 0.5 ounces. Oh, that's great. I was going to see if he wanted any of this meat shake. Well, apparently he does. Wow. Wow, bud. That was very impressive. Wow. Yummy. Good job. He likes that chocolate milk. Alright, so we gotta do some eye mints and some oral mints. Okay, and bionic. So Dell is doing awesome. I don't hear any signs of congestion in him. He's been nursing fine. His eyes actually look very bright and clear. I'm doing the eye meds just because you need to do them for at least 7 days. So he's doing very well. Keening and apparently likes meat shakes. And then we have Indy, who started on meat shakes mostly today. And he is 7.9 ounces. So Indy is a whole other kitten. There's no reason why he doesn't like to nurse. But it is what it is. He is a little bit of a medical mystery. At this point, I don't hear any congestion. He's stopped sneezing and coughing for the most part. 0.8 ounce gain. All right, bud. That's amazing. We've been doing really well eating. He typically eats every other feeding. Like, he'll just have a little bit this time, but he really doesn't want a whole lot. I don't force him to eat this. If he'll suckle like this. He just suckles. And then he takes a break. And I wipe his face, and then he suckles again. So I don't force him. He does get to the point where he just doesn't want any more. But I let him drink it himself. Nothing's forced upon him. His eyes are pretty bad, though. His eye, especially his right eye, is like... Yeah, I think he doesn't want any. His right eye is like pretty bad looking. And his left eye is still not the greatest, but it's better than his right eye. So, you know, there's nothing really you can do except he gets these meds every 3 hours, and he gets his antibiotics. So that's really all we can do. You need to see it. But I mean, talk about miracle, honestly. I am like totally shocked that these guys seem to have pulled through the worst of it. It's honestly just totally bonkers to me. If there is anything more miraculous, I don't know. No, I don't have the antiviral drops anymore. I don't think. I'll have to, well, I can look, but I don't think so. So that's it for these guys. I need to give Dakota her medicine. Let me put it back on these adorable little kittens. So while I give Dakota her meds, let me tell you another crazy thing that happened today. So I was contacted by a woman who asked for help in finding her 7-month-old kitten a home. And originally, I thought, well, we get these kind of requests a lot, and we just generally don't have space to take in, like, kittens from the street. There's so many kittens that are in shelters, and just from experience, there can be, like, a lot of unknowns when you're intaking street from the public. So originally I was going to try to help her find another rescue to help her. So I just started asking questions, whether the 7-month-old was spayed and whether she had her shots. And the woman said, no, I need to do that, but she's struggling financially. So I thought, okay, well, this kitten's going to need vet care beforehand. And then she mentioned to me that she has the mom named Tito, who she wants to keep. But I asked whether Tito was spayed yet, and she said no, she has to do that too. So this got me concerned. There's now 2 unspayed females, both at an age where they can get pregnant. Tito being the mom, Rosie being her daughter. Those are the names that the owner gave them. And no financial means to get that done. Also in South Jersey, around where she is, we used to have one low-cost spay-neuter clinic, and during COVID, it closed up. So we actually have 0 low-cost spay-neuter clinics around in the southernmost part of Jersey. And, it was clear that this woman wouldn't be able to afford a regular vet, which, if you're not a rescue, a regular vet is going to cost you anywhere between $300 to $500 to fix your cat. So I thought, well, let's see if there's something that KKP can do. So I found her a foster that's through KKP. It's going to be an off-site foster. And she's a really cute, looks like a tortie. It looks like she might have a white belly, but mostly tortie. Really beautiful 7-month-old kitten. She looks very friendly. I don't think we're going to have a problem finding her home. Her mom is like a light gray Torby. She's light gray with stripes, but she has these orange patches all along her back. So that's Tito, the mom. And that's all the cats that they have. So that's what we're going to work on, is helping to first and foremost get both of these cats spayed. so that neither of them is going to get pregnant. So I have a message at Dell. So I'm just waiting to hear back on a date. This woman is totally willing and able to drive them to and from the vet. So, you know, she's very, very thankful that we are covering this for her. You know, she absolutely wants and wanted to have them fixed. You know, just couldn't afford it. So these are the people that I really love to help, are people who want to take care of their pets, but, you know, might be struggling financially, but they, you know, just need a little help, and, you know, are very capable of providing a wonderful home if they just had a little financial help. And, you know, otherwise the cat is in a perfectly wonderful, safe environment. So, so I'm really glad that we can, you know, we have the ability to step in and help. There's a fundraiser on Instagram to try to raise the money we need for their spays and vaccines. We'll give them dewormer, and we'll get them microchipped as well. And then Tito will go back with the family, and we will take Rosie into KKP at that time. So, so I feel really good about, you know, there's still the ongoing saga of the hoarding case, and I'm still trying to work out what we can do and what we can't do up there, and there's so many moving pieces, and this, you know, just feels like a really good win, something that we can do close to home, and do a part to stop them from getting pregnant. So I feel really good about that. So that's that with that intake. So Rosie's not a part of KKP yet, but once we organize her spay, then we'll officially welcome her to KKP. The last thing thank you guys for being patient, is to give you an update on Miss Marple. So, while I do that, why don't I show you Dakota, who's hanging out here. So, as you guys probably know, we had to separate Miss Marple pretty quickly, like the day of, after speaking with the vet at Dell, when the rest of the detectives started throwing up like every hour all day long. And it was really a very urgent, if not emergency, situation, because we had no place to put Miss Marple here to separate her from the babies, but you know, the babies were so sick from her milk, and so it was absolutely necessary that we do separate them. And I talked to Kristen in kind of a panic, and asked if there was any way that she could foster Miss Marple before considering her for adoption. And Kristen stepped right up to the plate and said she'd be here in like 2 hours to pick her up. It was, you know, a total hero moment on Kristen's part, because, you know, she had nothing prepared. and just kind of dropped everything to come get this cat and try to integrate her into her household. So, one of the concerns that I had about Miss Marple, that we didn't get to test here, was how she would do with other cats. And with her babies around, and even while she was pregnant, she was very aggressive towards other cats, and would full out go after them if they came anywhere near her. So I was concerned because Kristen's family has a 1-year-old or 2-year-old cat, and who is not the boldest and most confident. And one of the things that very quickly happened at Kristen's was that her cat Mew was terrified of Miss Marple, and Miss Marple kept going after him. So even they had them in separate rooms, but Miss Marple was so fixated on Mew that she would do everything to get into the room, to antagonize him and go after him. So Mew, who is the resident cat, was just afraid to even come out. And that's one thing, which I think is, it wasn't good. The more serious thing is that Miss Marple, for maybe the first 2 days that she was here, seemed okay. She was friendly, showed no signs of aggression, but very quickly, after about 2 days, started becoming more and more aggressive. And even before her babies were born, there was the point where she wouldn't let me in the room, and she was hissing and growling and charging me. And, well, Dakota's gone back there, so I guess we'll switch back to these guys. And after she had the babies, she definitely became friendlier overall. She seemed to enjoy being around people, but she would have these random outbursts where she would, just suddenly charge someone, wrap her claws around their leg, and bite them. And she did it to me. She did it to Jima. She did it to many of the snugglers. Most of the snugglers at some point were on the end of this wrath. And, we had hopes that once she was away from the baby and had more space to stretch and to just kind of live without being cooped up in a room, that she just wouldn't have these outbursts. And that didn't happen. She has gone after both Kristen and her husband, which, Kristen says that, no cat has ever gone after her husband. Well, Miss Marple's the first. And more seriously, she's been stalking and attacking their son, who is 9 or 10 years old. And he is wearing shoes and socks around the house because she attacks his feet. And that's just not, that's not okay. As adults, we can choose, what animals to let into our lives and, what animals to avoid, and that's all our choice to make. But when you're talking about a child, a cat who is terrorizing you in your own home is not okay. No child should be fearful in their own home that, this cat is going to just come after them out of nowhere without being provoked. So, so I knew, you know, when Kristen was telling, you know, giving me updates, I knew that I needed to find another solution because, you know, even waiting until she's spayed and waiting after she's recovered from that, that's just too much time for her to be in this house with this boy. You know, and just, it was too much, you know, for us to try to figure stuff out while still being in that environment. So I reached out to the shelter that we pulled her from. It is my favorite shelter around here. They're a no-kill shelter. They have tons of fosters, and they really care about their cats. You know, this is not just kind of like a standard municipal county shelter. You know, their facilities are really fancy. They get a lot of funding. So I'm telling you guys, this is like one of the top-notch shelters in the area. So I reached out to her or you know, our contact there, and, you know, asked if they had any barn cat programs, or if we could consider TNRing her. You know, I wasn't sure exactly where she was found, you know, if that was an option that we could release her back to where she was picked up. And the shelter responded that they actually would like to work with her. And based on what they saw, you know, when she first arrived and her temperament, and even watching her on cam, that they believe they can work with her and try to find ways to, like, alleviate this behavior. So that was really good news. They were willing to take her back, which they said is a huge exception. They almost, you know, they just don't do that normally. You know, it's our responsibility to kind of figure it out once we pull from them. But they really believe in her and are willing to work with her. So this was the best news we could have gotten. I didn't expect them to say this. You know, you don't typically, shelters are, you know, not willing to put in that amount of time because they just can't afford that amount of time and effort. So, you know, they, of course, you know, they'll see how she does after she gets spayed. Maybe that will make a difference. They might try medication. They could try, you know, a behavioralist. I honestly, you know, I don't know what they're going to try. That's not my place to talk to them about. But, you know, they're professionals. They are certainly capable of working with their vets and figuring out a plan. So I feel really good about this. I know that Kristen, you know, feels emotional about it, and I think all of us will feel emotional about it at some level because we saw her give birth. You know, we saw her raise her babies. She is one of, if not the best mom cats we've ever had here. Just, you know, what she did for those babies was perfect. She was the perfect mom. And it's hard to watch that whole journey that she had here and not get to see that perfect ending where she gets to, you know, ride off into the sunset for her retirement. And, you know, I love seeing that moment when she gets to give up motherhood for good and and like see that happy ending. And we're not going to be able to see that. You know, we can ask a lot, but one of the things that I can guarantee you is that we're not going to know, like even as a foster for the shelter, you're not going to know who adopts them or, you know, where they go. So we're not going to see that happy ending on screen. And that might be hard to accept, but I hope that you trust me enough to know that I would never put her in a place that I didn't fully believe in and trust myself. And I truly believe this is the best thing that could happen. And I want to, you know, thank Kristen for what she did for Miss Marple. You know, what she did stepping in to give her the home that she gave her, even if it's a short temporary time. I needed somebody to do that, and Kristen stood up and did that. And it, you know, we needed to separate her from the babies, and she made that possible. So everything, I think, is working out as it was meant to be. And you know, it just wasn't meant to be permanent at Kristen's, and that's okay. So I know that that it's extra hard on Kristen because, you know, she loves Miss Marple maybe more than anybody. But she's gonna be all right. Yeah, Skyfall, that's exactly right. I think she's going to need to be an only cat. I think that was, you know, made very clear how she reacted to Mew, that she wants to rule the roost. You know, probably no children, at least, you know, under 16 maybe. So, but now that I know that Kristen is open to fostering, watch out! Because, this is how Robin got roped into having a kitten garden, was like offering one time to take some kittens. Hannah, you're reading my mind. Yes, Dakota. Oh, yes. So Miss Marple is, Kristen's taking Miss Marple to the shelter tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So I'm sure that's going to be hard for her to do. Oh, I got to put this. I forgot. I had that tilted up. Sorry about that. There's the babies. So I thought about a suitcase for her, and I think, honestly, it would just get lost. They do a lot of off-site adoptions and adoptions outside of foster's homes, and I don't know, where she's going to be fostered. So I just feel like it's going to get lost in the system. There's no, it was different with Tiara, because I took Tiara, I drove her directly to her foster's house, and so I connected with her foster mom, and so it was easy to give to her foster mom and have her hold on to that. But I just think with the shelter, it's just going to get lost track in all of that. So I appreciate you guys asking, but I don't think that they'd be able to keep it with her. That's a really sweet idea, to make one from you. I love that idea. So I'm pretty sad too. I mean, I'm just, I admit that this has me emotional too. I am sad, about not seeing that happy ending. I can't sugarcoat everything, but that's just what has to happen, and and it's okay if I'm sad about it. Yeah, I really hope that the Instagram stays up too, Kristen, because I have really enjoyed that Instagram account already. And who knows who I might send your way. So I think that's all the updates of the night, or of the day, really. It was a lot that happened, and I hope to get some good news tomorrow about Jacoby, and I hope that he's able to go back home to Shannon's tomorrow. All right, Tundra. I'll give him a week. Yeah. See, that's not okay for a boy to be afraid to leave his room. Oh, Dakota just, oh my goodness, she's so funny. She just jumped up. So there was a wand toy. She loves this wand toy. It was up. You guys can see my finger. It was up on that second shelf behind all this stuff. And she jumped up there and dragged it over to her nest for her babies. We're gonna have to hide that toy. You're so funny. I've never seen a mom carry so many toys to their nest for their babies. Oh yeah, it's Ella's birthday. Let's sing Ella a happy birthday. You guys ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ella. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Hope everyone sang along. There you guys. I'm gonna clean up here and head downstairs. Remember to do this again. Oh, look at that little face. Look at that little face. So cute. Okay, guys. Bye for now. I need this, Dakota. I need it. You're so funny. Hopefully she won't jump up on this. Okay. I hid it. I hid it from her. See ya.